Hello folks, in this video, we'll go through basic steps to get started with Midjourney. Basically, we'll cover the initial steps, how to set up Discord, how much this costs, etc., etc. So let's dive in. So before starting with Midjourney, you need to create an account with Discord. If you're not familiar with Discord, it may be slightly confusing at first, especially with the interface, channels, and prompt system. I freaking said that. You only need to know a few tips and know how in Discord to get started with Midjourney. So let's start by creating an account in Discord. Click here. There we go. So these steps are not really necessary. You can skip them if you like. There we go. Meanwhile, go to the mail you used to register and get your account verified. Okay, now let's take a pause and go to Midjourney registration. I joined the beta. And now that you have your Discord open in your browser, you're directly taken to this screen. If you have the desktop app for Discord installed, you can open that. Right now I'm choosing to continue in browser. So this is what you're thrown into when you've opened Discord for the first time, which may be a bit overwhelming if you are new to Discord, but don't worry, we won't be needing most of these stuff to get on with Midjourney. So now you can start by going to a room. One of these newcomer rooms, anything you generate here will be public for all to see. It's a good place to start where you can see what others are doing, what kind of prompts others are using to get a desired output. Now, if you want a private space where your images are not lost in between all those images from others, you can start a direct message with this bot representing Midjourney. And it starts by asking you to accept some terms, conditions, and stuff. Also, it provides a comprehensive tutorial, which I'd recommend you to check out. Now, let's get a quick intro about the prompt system. If you click here and press / you're receiving a list of commands. I'll explain the necessary commands and parameters necessary for Midjourney in a separate tutorial. But to do a basic image generation, we're gonna use the most often used command, imagine. So once we type in or select the imagine command, we can see that Discord is asking for a prompt. So we type in whatever crazy idea that you want to generate. And as you can see, Midjourney does require a subscription plan. You can click the subscribe button or type in /subscribed. These are the plans that Midjourney presents you with, and it's time to cough up that money. Now, if you're just exploring, maybe it's better to opt for a monthly plan. And as you can see, the basic plan comes at $10 per month. Problem with this plan is that it has a limit on the number of images you can generate. And see, the thing with Midjourney is the way this calculation of how credits are used up is not really, or exactly based on how many images you can create per credit. It depends on the GPU time that each image takes up, and I am not going to pretend like I'm an expert with these technical terms. But a rough estimate, this plan may let you create between 150 to 250 images per month. Now remember, any slight modification you make will count as a new image, and I can assure you that most of the time you may have to try 10, 20 prompts to get an image that somewhat meets your requirement. So I recommend going for a $30 plan, as this allows you to create unlimited generations. It will be using something called relax mode, which makes the image generation slower. And if you want faster outputs for the expensive plans. So now that you've basically subscribed for a plan, have a Discord account, let's start with image generation. Check out my next video, which covers the commands and parameters used in Discord for Midjourney. If you liked what you saw, subscribe, and do leave in comments your thoughts and your feedbacks.